What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Seoul Therapy, the podcast. My name is Daniel.
Daytona.
Today, we are continuing with a part 3 of Pre-Show Me the Money Season 10, and we will be talking about the producers while we wait on the last team, and we will also talk about our top 2 confirmed contestants through 3 categories that we created and break down why we place these artists in these categories. As usual, if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our podcast on all streaming platforms and don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. Also, for more contents, please go and follow our socials at soul_therapy, and please also support our page on Patreon as well. So now that we are inching closer to Show Me the Money Season 10, and while we wait for the final team, in terms of the producers, what are your initial thoughts of the producers so far?
It's kind of a mixed bag, in my opinion. First of all, there was controversy surrounding whether Mino can be a great producer. Because as much as Mino had great exploits in the past auditions and stuff, he doesn't exactly have a album career.
That's true.
As a rapper. I mean, Yeomda has 4 albums under his belt. Zion T at least has with the EPs in consideration, at least.
Yeah, he has a lot of singles out too.
Yeah, Mino has singles. And that too. But Zion T has when it comes to full body works, he has 3 or 4 as well, right? And so people were kind of skeptic because Mino just released his second or first album, right? So it's he is people like him. People like him as a rapper and people like him as a celebrity, but there is a little bit of concern as to is he really producer material? Granted, Gray, people like Gray. He doesn't have an album as well, but if you think about it, he's a producer. He kind of markets himself not just as an artist, but as a producer, right?
Exactly. He's mostly known as a producer.
Yeah. Mino is not known for being a producer.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a song where he produced a track.
Yeah, usually when it comes to Show Me the Money, the producer teams are one artist and one producer,
Yeah.
It has always been like that. And the only person that kind of went through this kind of dichotomy, I guess, is The Quiet, because he's really known for being both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Yeomda is almost self-produced the entirety of his albums as well. So people are
that's
not
right. Yeomda also produces as well.
Exactly. So that's a little bit of commentary about Mino. And when it comes to Yeomda and Toil,
I was a bit hesitant with that team.
Yeah, because the reason I'm a little bit hesitant is because if you remember Show Me the Money 8, it was one of the failures of that season was they didn't put established producers on there.
Yeah, it was just kind of mashed up together. It was almost rushed. It wasn't constructive.
It's not like I'm saying they're whack producers or anything, but Milik and Boy Cold isn't exactly established producers. There are no Groovy Room. There are no, I don't know, I guess, no Groovy Room. They aren't Optimist or anything. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's especially with Milik, I would say he was more of an experimental, just kind of new to the scene.
It's not saying they're untalented. It's the amount of experience they have.
Yeah, for sure.
And Toil is not exactly the most experienced producer out there.
But I think with Toil, I think he's an exception because he's made music that people are familiar with, the sounds or the beats that he produced for, artists like Ash Island and etc. So I think there's an exception there.
He did roll a lot around when it comes to Ambition members, I guess. But I'm just not sold entirely. If it was, for example, There are other seasons like in Show Me the Money 5, if we remember, go back to the days. Wasn't it like Kush on it? Wait a
Yeah, with
minute.
Zion T.
Was INT, exactly. And you also had Doki, who was also a famous producer. Gil
With
was a
the
member of
quiet.
the Movement crew, and you had the Quiet and stuff like that. Like, and even like Show Me the Money 4. Let's go back to that. We had Verbal Gent. We had
Yeah, that had a lot of producers.
yeah. No, it wasn't exactly like weird for Show Me the Money 4 because there were not actually producers in there. They basically the only people who had produced like exact are known for their production credit was Verbal Gent, right? And Show Me the Money 4, and they were all artists. The problem is because they were all artists, it was kind of they brought in outside producers all the time. You see,
Yeah.
I don't think you can do it with seasons like this because, well, it will kind of look lame. You already have a beat maker on your team. You really want to bring in someone else? It's going to be weird. And I think Sloam has a established catalog.
Yeah, man, I was excited when Sloan was announced.
Yeah. I mean, Sloam doesn't have a full length either, but when it comes to like his production credits, like Sloam really has an extensive like experience and history of putting out great songs. Toil didn't really go through that yet, I think.
I mean, that's true. I thought his first album was pretty solid. His first LP. I thought it was pretty solid for his debut.
It's just I'm not sold on it yet. Maybe my opinions will change.
When the show actually happens.
Yeah, because all in all, I think the producer teams that make it through are people with more variety.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and in that aspect, Gray is locked up. I mean, Gray practically made every kind of beat that ever existed. So who cares? Like he's proven to do that. Sloam has a great record of doing that too.
Yeah, I always thought that Sloam and Zion T chemistry worked really well. They just fit naturally well.
Yeah, he can come up with the most fluffy shit that's out there, and then suddenly switch 180 and pull out like East Coast boom bap shit like nothing. He did that last season already. So
that's true. He has a distinct sound. Sloam has a distinct sound.
And when it comes to that kind of like versatility, Toil is the one with the least credibility, I guess. Even Yumta's production credits doesn't have that much variety. Like that John Cena beat was basically a DJ Coker sample, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So I just want some more variety. Like if you look at the seasons that flopped, it was always seasons that had very homogeneous sounds.
I hear ya.
Yeah, and that kind of variety I think should be established. And I really hope this fourth team kind of cements this. Because,
I think we're all excited who this fourth team is. Just not only excited, but we're extremely curious.
Yes, it's actually very important who the fourth producer team is. If it turns out to be nobody, it's gonna become a little bit problematic.
I find myself thinking leading up to the program, I was excited at first, like really excited, but then my mind kind of shifted towards interested. I left my mind that I'm interested. I'm open to it and I'm interested, but I'm not exactly sold on it because, like you mentioned about the producers, I was hoping that a more experienced producer would come into, the program in the third team. But I'm not complaining because I think Yumta and Toil would be a good producer. But I just think as a Show Me Money program as a whole, you want to go back to that season 5, where season 5 was just
the perfect
top
balance.
Notch. Yeah. So, I was hoping, and again, if it is the grand finale, I was hoping if we got a little bit more out of the team producers. But look, I'm not complaining. It's the show hasn't even started, and anything can happen at this point, so they could sell us with the great music, great beats,
Mm.
but at the same time, it can go the opposite way and kind of deteriorate, with
Mm.
good quality beats and stuff. So I put my mind at I'm interested,
Mm.
but I'm not like 100% sold yet
Yeah.
because I really thought this third team would
Mm.
kind of be the deciding factor, maybe.
Mm.
But now that we have to rely on the fourth team, I'm kind of wary, but also interested. Again, I'm just
Mm.
interested. So,
Yeah.
hopefully we get a strong fourth team. And I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you
it
have any
really needs to. Like, this is the 10th season, and they even put like a extra title on it, right? Like the
Yeah,
original. Like they better bring that original vibe.
yeah,
Seriously.
for real, for
One
real.
thing, one other thing that kind of makes me a little bit hopeful too about this season. Um, this is the capitalistic system saying, I guess.
Hmm.
The sponsors, like each time there's an audition program, there's a sponsor. And last season's sponsors were pretty small corporations. Like, I really don't have any idea who these people are. Like, it was some chicken company, it was a resort company. Johnny Walker wasn't it. You had a beer company and all this shit. This season's sponsor is Samsung,
Mm.
which is multiple, like, way bigger. It's exactly as speaking as Samsung Electronics. And when it comes to corporate value, Samsung Electronics basically trumps every company that was the sponsor for last season. Well, I'm not like this is coming from a Wikipedia page, so it may be a little bit faulty. But if you think about it, if the sponsors, such as big as this company, is kind of investing in it, it means there's not going to be like faulty, stupid shit going on.
Mm.
Like bad editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is not going to happen this season.
Yeah, hopefully not, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Like every time the season was decent enough, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The corporation sponsors were better. Like Show Me the
Yeah.
Money 5 was sponsored by Adidas, Volkswagen,
Mm-hmm.
Sony, stuff like that. And let's see, any more? Yeah, Show Me the Money for season 4 was Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
Show Me the Money season 3, let's see, was Adidas.
Mm.
So bigger the company that's behind the show, it tended to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a show business anyway. You throw more money at it, chances of success goes up, whether you hate it or not. Right?
Facts.
Yeah, and this is the first time a big corporation like Samsung decided to stand in. Like people call Korea Samsung Republic. There's no bigger corporation than Samsung in Korea. I think there is a reason for saying that this season will not be that bad.
Yeah. Hopefully, I think at the end of the day, I think again, it's all about the programs. I just hope that Mnet knows what they're doing and clean up the errors that were made previously. And yeah, we're just hopeful that we get a strong fourth team.
Yeah.
As the producers. So yeah, moving on to our next topic. So now that the deadline has passed for Show Me the Money 10 submission process,
Yeah.
there were many familiar faces and new faces that will be participating. And with the show inching closer, we wanted to break down 2 artists that we each selected and put them in 3 categories that we created. The 3 categories are most exciting, most shocking, and potential winners.
All right. First of all, I wasn't sure what the standard for exciting was, I guess. So
Yeah.
what I said was people with the most clout, I guess,
Okay.
for the first category. So when it comes to exciting, I guess Basic is one.
Okay. Of course.
Because he's an established veteran, right?
Yeah.
And Basic has become kind of a household name in Korea.
Yeah.
Not many rappers become household names, and the reason he became a household name wasn't because of his rapping, it was because of his YouTube status.
Mm.
Him going on a military what was it, a military show program called 가짜사나이.
Oh.
Yeah, you people are probably not, what do you call it, familiar with it, but there has been a very military show reality program phenomenon in Korea, and that started from YouTube. Korea has approximately a 60 million of a population. And 가짜사나이 kind of drew like 220 million views or something, which basically means a third of the country has watched this content.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a military survival program where you have ex-UDT members kind of, doing also sort of reality TV shit. And Basic was a participant in that. And he did well. Like, as when it comes to entertainment value, Basic did really well. And ever since that program, Basic has become kind of a YouTube, not superstar, but some kind of a star in the YouTube hemisphere, right? So when it comes to cloud, I think Basic probably draws in most viewers.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other one would be Basic in a positive sense, and the other cloud, it will be probably Sunny.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Because in a bad way though.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, when it comes to like y'all probably saw it through the Olympics and stuff, but there is a very huge gender problem going on in Korea, and Sunny was a huge part of that. And he's also one of the rappers that that was huge back in the days, and he is basically not talked about in a hip-hop manner anymore. People don't talk about his music. People talk about his political stances and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So his music got forgotten, but his personality got notorious, which is the worst position you can be as an artist.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your persona survived, but your art has died. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen to any kind of artist, no matter what field you are in. So in a sense, if he does make it back into Show Me the Money 10, and it will draw clout in a bad way or a good way, I have no idea, because I have no idea whether he will succeed or fail on that audition program. So I think Basic and Sunny probably will bring in the most views, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so them too.
Wow, it sounds like you went very specific with the category. Because for me, I went just kind of with basic. I just kind of was like, okay, exciting. Who would be the most exciting participants? And my first participant that I chose is Our Real Goat. And it's his first time participating. And I was actually excited when I saw his cipher. And I was just pumped because I've started to become more appreciative of his music, because at first I was not really fond of his music, but as I kept listening to his songs and his albums and kind of learning who he is, I just thought, oh man, he's
just
going
a
to
good
be
dude.
one of the
He's a really good dude.
He's going to be an underdog, a dark horse, and I think he could be, a potential winner, just because he has like a different style to him, and he has a very tight flow that's very unique.
He's a technician. He's seriously a technician.
Man. Yeah, man. And the fact that he produces and mixes and does all the work for his songs, I just thought, man, he is going to be an exciting artist. Who knows? He might even help the producers that he's on, to come
Basic
up with.
Basic is already kind of established. Yeah, he has been around since 08. 08 is a very 2008. I'm talking about 2008 here. The 08 was a very important year for Korean hip hop, and what we call the greatest players in the game was kind of the rookies of 08. Like E-Sense, Simon Dominic, Swings, all of them motherfuckers was born out of the mixtape boom of the 08 of 2008. And Basic was a part of that,
Yeah.
In like the States, like we talk about like freshman classes of 2010 or 2008 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where they are now and stuff like that. I mean, no one cares about freshmen now, but back in the days, XSL freshman was a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And in a very similar sense, like 2008 had a mixtape boom in Korean hip hop, and one of the people that was in there was Basic. You know, Basic is one of those rare cases where he was a super rookie, but he didn't couldn't live up to those expectations as the years went on. Because he was a great technician, but he never had a knack for making solid albums. But even though Basic has a reputation for it, he has a series called Foundation. Foundation Volume 1, Foundation Volume 2, and the recent one was Foundation Volume 4. And even people who don't like Basic as an artist always anticipate the Foundation series because he does what he does best on there. He just rhymes. He just raps his ass off on a couple of great beats. Like, that's all you want from Basic, and that's kind of all you need from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Show Me the Money, like, the performance is kind of important.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to have certain shock factor to your music.
Yeah, so for me, our real GOAT is the real excitement here. I think he's young. I think he's raw and talented. And then my second exciting participant is actually Jiguin from Rhythm Power. And you might be thinking, what? Jiguin? The dude is like a already established veteran. And I know because he participated in season 4 and 6, but the dude has come a long way, with his rap skills. He has come a long way. The dude and his group were a nobody, like, no disrespect, but they were kind of a nobody. And then all of a sudden, with them leaving amoeba culture and establishing team play music. I think Rhythm Power is up to something. I think they're well on their way to becoming great.
They have to hustle their asses off.
Yeah.
They really need to. Yeah.
Their skills have been a lot more sharp, a lot more skillful, and especially with Chiguin, the least of the bunches, I think there's a lot for him to prove in this season. So I'm super excited for him being brave and courageous to participate in the season. I'm super excited how far he's gonna go. So
yeah, he failed very early on the last time he participated, right? Because he forgot his lyrics. Yeah, that was hard to watch.
So I think this season will be a redemption season for him, hopefully. And
yeah, he needs to.
Yeah, so our second category is the most shocking participants. And the most shocking. And I know we had quite a few contestants
like, what the fuck are you doing here? Kind of
yeah, man. And for me, the two shocking participants were Yankee and James. And I'll start with Yankee, dude. Like, who would have thought Yankee would have submitted an application to join?
Movement.
Like, yeah, man. He not only that, but he was also part of TBNY.
Yeah, TBNY was part of the movement, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think so. And he also participated in last year's hip hop program called Do You Know Hip Hop? And it was for old first generation rappers.
Yeah.
And he was also part of Dynamic Duo's label Amoeba Culture as well. And so for that one, I was just shocked. I had nothing else to say. I was like, Yankee? What is he like? How is he gonna?
What is he doing here?
Yeah, because we know that the other veterans kind of like failed in the Show Me the Money program. So I'm hopeful that he does well and he he gets pretty far. And my final artist that I selected for
James.
James, dude. Like what? Like.
Yeah,
the dude came out of nowhere as well. He was also on season 4 and 6, but after that he just went completely ghosted. He just kind of ghosted himself,
I mean, he
completely went away.
He constantly made music, but no one kind of marketed it.
Yeah, he just kind of like went away and just kind of like it almost seemed like he was deactivated from the scene. Like just
like someone switched him off.
Yeah, like, or people just kind of forgot about him, or he purposely just kind of like left the scene without saying anything.
I think he purposely left the scene. I mean,
yeah, that's what I thought.
I wouldn't hold it on his head anymore because he probably apologized but he had some run-ins with the Muslim community back in the days and stuff.
Oh,
Because
that's right. He did have some controversies.
yeah, and I I wouldn't go as far as to say that Jammeh had malicious intent on it or anything,
Hmm.
but it was still his wrongdoing. But he kind of owned it up. Like
Yeah, that's good.
a lot of Korean rappers are bad at owning up shit, and
Yeah.
Jammeh actually did put out an apology that actually felt sincere. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that he again makes a redemption. Hope because I know he started a new label, his own label called Grand Line recently, and
no.
so
Wait. That's wrong. Jammeh is not a member of Grand Line. Has existed for forever.
oh really? But it's recently said that he started his own label on Hip
That's
Hop
not
Player.
Grand Line. If he did
Oh,
start a
it's not
record
okay.
label, that is not from Grand. That is the name is not Grand Line.
Okay, my
Um,
mistake.
no. Actually, you're not entirely wrong because I just looked it up, and Grand Line existed forever. The CEO of Grand Line was a person called War Man. He rolled around with Verbal Jint and Overclass back in the day, and he kind of gave the CEO post to Jammeh.
Okay.
So it's not like he started a label. He became
Okay.
president of the record label that he was already in.
Okay. Thank you for the
Yeah.
clarity.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Grand Lion hosts so many good rappers anyway.
Yeah, so I'm just hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful and excited for his return because he looks like he's matured a lot compared to his other
Yeah.
seasons. So I'm just
Yeah.
super excited for John Mess, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree that he has matured because like he usually had this super edgy character.
Mm-hmm.
Like his first stage of his career was a bit like the dude, like the Mac Miller type of chill dude, and then he became a super edgy dude, and then
Yeah.
his recent is more like a positive vibe kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, granted, his admission stuff was like the edgy stuff is back again, but if you think about it, like his recent album was called the Pink Album.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it had very pinky music, for a lack of a better word. It sounded really pink, you know?
Yeah.
And it was a refreshing. I won't go as far as to say I really liked the album or anything, but it was refreshing, you know? And I
Yeah.
think James has a potential for showing a lot of different stuff. Mine would be, first of all, Y2K92.
Whoo,
Like,
boy, that was insane.
yeah, this is a duo with one woman MC called Jibin and the other male MC called Simo. And
Yeah.
I'm not entirely familiar with Jibin's catalog because I don't think she has an extensive discography before Y2K92.
Mm-hmm.
But Simo has been around for a long time, like a really
Very long time.
Yeah. His album called Simo in Mood Shula, which is a collaboration with, of course, coming from the title Mood Shula,
Yeah,
is
that's a classic.
yeah, it's a cult classic. It's a cult classic of experimental Korean hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has a very unique style, and it's not like unique in the sense like a Young Thug is unique. It's like unique in the sense that you don't think this is even hip hop the first time you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is rapping, but in a very really manner over some really fucked up beats, you know?
Yeah.
Like his music is whacked out. And this is like he's like the equivalent of like a clipping or a death grips, you know?
Mm.
And hearing him applying for Show Me the Money was really shocking because this program really has nothing to do with experimentalism.
No, most definitely
Yeah,
not.
this is about making hits.
Yes.
Granted, Simo and Jibian's skills as rappers are uncontestable, in my opinion.
Mm.
Like, they make one of the most forward-thinking music in Korean hip-hop, period. And they're not even young. Like, Jiban is young. Simo is not, you know?
Yeah.
And to turn the listeners on some of their works, Simo has a feature on Simon Dominic's recent album.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yali Gang, that song. Anyway, Simo just pops up out of nowhere. Jibin is completely elusive. Jibin never pops up on anywhere. Simon occasionally pops up somewhere. The only time Jibin actually popped up was on Kim Shimya's recent album. And that's pretty much it. She does seems to have connections with Lil Cherry, but that's kind of it. Like, Jibin's totally elusive. Simo pops up occasionally, but that's like, I don't know, like once in every like 10 months or something. So they don't even have an album out yet.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the most hyped duos that don't have an album, which is really frustrating because each time they actually put something out as Y2K92, it blows your head off. It blows your mind, but they just keep not dropping that fucking album. And them coming out of Show Me the Money has me excited for two reasons. First is people will get to know them.
Yeah.
It's kind of double-edged because people might hate their style. Or they might really like it. I don't know. I don't know how the masses will respond to these two guys. And the other thing is, them coming out of Show Me the Money probably means they're actually going to drop something. Because I don't see these people as characters that are going to like do it for fame. They might do it for the money. They are not going to do it for fame. And probably the reason they're coming out of Show Me the Money is probably to make sure their album doesn't really like flop.
Yeah.
At least you got to put it out there that your album is out, right?
For sure.
So yeah, I think it's that minimum exposure they're looking for. Granted, I just picked Y2K92 because they're two rappers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Then for my potential winners, I might kind of shock you a little bit, but the two artists that I went with is Sokodomo and Blase.
Blase, I'm not sure. Sokodomo, very agree.
All right. Hear me out though.
Yeah.
Okay, we know Sokodomo's skills. Like he's on the rise.
Yeah,
like,
and he makes
there's
great
no
music.
questions. There's no questions.
Seriously. Yeah.
But the reason
mind-blowing music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason why I chose Blase is in the past season, Show Me Them as season 9, he actually showed a flash of talent, and I think he just is underestimated just because he's not as big as people would like him to be, but he has the skills, man. Just even in his cipher that he submitted, he was rapping to that UK drill beat,
Yeah.
and he fits that genre really well, and I think he could be an artist that could really make a run in this season. I mean, just because he has like this really tight kind of raw flow that is very outspoken, and you could hear the words really well, and his rhyme schemes is really catchy. Like I don't know if you can catch his songs, but he knows how to rhyme really well, and it's very consistent. It's not it has an inconsistency, but it has really consistency, and I think he has a really good shot at it. So Blase, man, Blase.
I definitely agree with Sokodomo. Like his recent album SOS was just
that was insane.
Yeah, that was a mind fuck. And oh, by the way, it's written in Morse code, so typing SOS wouldn't get you in the streaming services. You have to search for Sokodomo as an artist. My two picks are, I'm still torn on this. I would put Unofficial Boy.
Ooh.
And
I think of him.
I would put Sokodomo, but since you already talked about it.
No. You could have the same one if you wanted to.
I would either put Kunta or North Face God.
Whoa. Kunta?
And I think a lot of people would usually put Kunta in the surprising category rather than the winner category.
Yeah, that's what I would have put. Yeah, that's what I would have put.
And I considered that for a moment, but the reason I actually think Kunta has a chance here is Kunta he's a reggae guy, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of the reggae hip hop kind of guy. And the reason I think he has a chance is I think he can make records that have some mass appeal in it. You know what I mean? Like his recent album is full of those kind of dancehall rhythms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think a person like Yomta or Gray can actually pull that off great.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
exactly looking for Kunta to make cutting edge music here because he's a skilled rapper, but who cares about making a skilled rap song anyway? It's more about, getting the hits once you get to that level. And Yomta has a great history of working with Kunta.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? Like Yomta, like of all the people here, the person who is most likely to make the quintessential hit is Yomta and Toil.
Yeah.
Not talking about the variety here. I'm talking about making a summer banger of some sorts,
Yeah.
Granted, it won't be the summer anymore, probably.
Facts.
But you need to make some pop hits, right?
Yeah.
And Yomta and Kunta have a great chemistry together. Like, I know this because they have had collaborations in the past. And each time they did, they made these great pop bangers. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, it didn't get the exposure because Yomta was not famous back in the days.
Yeah.
But they can do it anytime they want again. And Kunta will probably go up there, like into the final rounds, because his technicality as a rapper is very formidable.
Yeah.
Like, the dude can really fucking rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, so I think Kunta's strategy will be like, he will be the rap technician for like the first phase of the audition. But once he goes into the upper levels of the competition where you have to make songs with the producers, that's when he's going to go for the commercial hits. You know what I mean? And Kunta can really do that. Like, his last album was filled with these electro reggae kind of dancehall shit. And if he had the exposure, it would probably have done well on the charts. Like, he makes that kind of music if he wants to. He has a great record of doing that and pulling it off. So I think Kunta is... A lot of people don't think like this because the dude is a reggae guy.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, I mean, dancehall wouldn't have popped off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how are we going to explain shit like Hotline Bling? Kunta can do that. I think Kunta has a real potential of doing that. And the other winner would probably be Unofficial Boy, because he has a knack for melodies.
Yeah.
He really does. And his music reminds you a lot of Big Bang.
Oh, okay.
It really
Interesting
does.
comparison.
If you listen to it again, you'll hear like old G-Dragon melodies to it.
Oh, okay.
And
Gonna have to check it out.
yeah, you'd never heard of his music?
No, I've heard a couple, but I just can't recall it. But
No, you have to. Like, his recent album and the last one. Like, he has a knack for melodies. And if he was just about melodies, I wouldn't put him as the winner. But he can really rap as well.
no, yeah, he
has a great blend of melody and rapping where, like, I haven't heard someone that meshes melody and rhyming together this well since C-Jam. And this is the best compliment I can give out right now. I can't believe, like, this is the dude that used to, do, like, goofy shit on, like, High School Rapper. Like, this is this dude right here has the potential of the next rap superstar. I would go far as to say that. Like, say it like that. Like, even his melodies, it's so catchy, but the rhyme and the flow he incorporates it in it is so intricate and detailed. Like, this is what I wanted Occasion to become.
Yeah.
But he kind of faded into obscurity anyway.
Yeah.
Like, this is the next step. Like, you know how C-Jam really does this well with the recent Kung album and his features and stuff like that? Like, this is what I want from melodical hip hop. Like, this is how you should do it. Like, this is the thesis of it. This is the, I don't know, the holy grail kind of approach to it. Like, this is the golden formula right here. The style that C-Jam and Unofficial Boy employs. This is how you should do it. And if Unofficial Boy really makes it in this season, I would go as far as to say hip hop really came a far way. So these two people are definitely going to be the winners. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We've talked about a lot of great artists, and we can hope for the best, and we'll see, man. It's all wait from here. So yeah. And as we begin to slowly wrap up our show, as usual, any artist or tracks that you're currently listening to and would like to share or recommend to our listeners?
Well, since we are going to talk about we were talking about Show Me the Money, I would say check out Kunta's album. Yeah.
For sure.
Kunta has an extensive catalog. Like his recent album is very poppy, but he's known for being a member of the group Rude Paper. And they are a legendary reggae hip hop duo. And they have a album called, give me a moment here, called Destroy Babylon. And there's a song called, where is it? Freedom. I really like this song. It has a kind of reggae, of course it's a reggae flip. But it is one of the few cases in which reggae is done probably by someone who is not of African descent.
Okay.
Like most of the times reggae becomes a gimmick and it's pretty offensive. And not only offensive, it's kind of like, you're bad at this. Why the fuck are you doing this kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like, you know how like comedians go on TV and like shit on hip hop by putting off a bad impersonation of it. And that happens a lot of times. And reggae, I think, is kind of abused in that way as well. But this is an example of someone not familiar, not from the culture distinctively, but actually does it pretty well, you know?
That's good.
Yeah, so check out Rude Paper Freedom.
All right. So for me, I went with J-Tong, and I went with the song called Ha 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 Ha.
Yeah.
And it features North Face Scott, and this was a Dingo project collaboration, and it was like a summer project. And look, all right, look.
No, it's a
hear
fucking
me out.
amazing song.
I know you're laughing right now, but people,
no, I just
check
said the
this
title.
out. Check this song out. I mean, it's gonna bring you into a good mood. It's just a good, fun summer song. And J-Tong, who's a very iconic, legendary Korean hip hop artist, you know, I kind of just saw this as for fun, you know, him just kind of like being himself and just kind of, you know, making songs that he likes, that he's just kind of,
he talks about being a well-being, you know, like the nature and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, it's about nature, the ocean, eating seafood, and just you know, hanging out with your friends. And this song just works, man. This song just works, and I listen to this song probably 10 times a day. I kid you not.
Adding on to that, this kind of seems like a troll song, but it's not. Like, it's very well executed in a musical sense. Like,
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, the sentiment of the song is definitely a joke song. The song is ha 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 ha. The title is literally ha 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 ha, right? And North Face God is well known for this super wonky style too. So it's definitely, the sentiment of it is a joke song, but it is a very well rhymed, you know?
It is.
Like,
it just puts a smile on my face.
Yeah. Yeah. And J-Tong is usually the guy who's, you know, I mean, recently he makes this stuff about nature a lot, but back in the days, like, he was this Rage Against the Machine kind of dude. And it was like, fuck you kind of guy, you know?
Yeah,
like, he was about, I'll smash your face kind of guy. And it seems like this is a very new, exciting direction for him.
Yeah.
With the whole energy still inside, but he's talking about eating carrots.
All I can say about this song is everyone just go listen to it. It's going to put a smile on your face. You're going to laugh along.
Make sure you get the lyrical translations to it as well.
Yeah. Please get the lyrical translation, because it's a funny song, but
J-Tong's amazing.
It's actually a really good song.
Yeah,
It's
J-Tone's fucking
it's
amazing.
simple. It's simple. It
Mm,
goes straight to the point, and it's gonna put a smile on your face, and you're gonna
mm,
laugh too. So
yeah.
J Tong's Ha 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 featuring North Face Guide.
Yeah.
Um, well, that's all the time we have for today, but please do comment and let us know what you think of today's topic, and let us know which two Show Me the Money Season 10 artists and contestants you would put in these three categories. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please go and subscribe to our podcast on all platforms, and please give us that 5-star rating. If you want more K-hip hop contents, go check out Daytona's Instagram at MYK_Daytona for K-hip hop album reviews, and also follow our social media page at Seoul_Therapy. Thank you guys so much, and see you guys next time.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.